Ladies and gentlemen, the start of Season 4 of Diablo 4 has been quite a blast, and with all the new updates to the leveling system, it's been a faster process than we've ever experienced before. That being said, there are way more people making it to endgame, and a lot of us are already there. So we're going to go over all the bosses we could farm for our specific Uber Uniques, their locations, and the materials needed to summon them. Let's go. So as you probably already know, all the ladder bosses require specific summoning materials. And with those materials, you can go to the boss location, spend them, and summon the boss. Now keep in mind, they're going to be level 200 tormented versions of each of these bosses, with even better drops. You're going to be able to go to the same location and summon them in the same exact way. Only now we have a tab where we could swap between the normal version and the tormented version. Now each boss will require the same materials no matter which difficulty you're looking at, but the tormented versions are going to require 3 times the amount of that same material to summon, plus 1 Stygian stone. We'll cover that new material in just a second, but the rewards from those tormented bosses are increased by 5 times the amount that drops versus the normal version. So it's very much well worth going after these higher end bosses. On top of this, the first time you kill a tormented boss, you'll get yourself a resplendent spark, which if you didn't know, you can go to any alchemist under the transmutation tab, then you can go to transmute spark, and this is where you can craft any specific Uber Unique you got your eye on. And keep in mind, we know we're gonna get 1 resplendent spark from just finishing the Iron Wolf rep. Super simple. As we said, we get them from the tormented bosses, so we have plenty of options there. And Lilith will be dropping 1 for us as well. So we should be able to get 3 sparks just by playing the game and beating some challenges, so we know at least 1 Uber Unique of your choice is guaranteed. Now let's talk some materials. What's really nice about these boss summoning materials is that we're going to be getting them from more sources now, and that's because they can actually drop from the new Helltide Reborn as random or relatively consistent bonuses. And since majority of us are just living in Helltide leveling up, you're probably going to have a bit more of these materials than normal. Personally, I have a boatload of living steel and so much distilled fear from clearing nightmare dungeons, I don't even know what to do with this stuff anymore. So let's run through all the bosses, their new loot pools, where to summon them, and what to summon them with. First up is the new boss Andariel. He's going to be found here in the Hangman's Hall, which is right next to the Tarsarak waypoint, or Zabinzet as an actual town. Andariel is a boss you can consider being equal to Duriel in terms of worth. You're going to need to be in World Tier 4 to fight her, her Echo is level 100, and her drops are the exact same as Duriel, which means for us, she's just as good as Duriel for Uber Unique farming. For her regular uniques, here's a list via wowhead.com. But again, she's going to have the exact same drops as Duriel, just to be clear. To summon Andariel, you're going to need 2 summoning materials. 2 of the Sand-Scorched Shackles dropped by Zir, and 2 of the Pincushion Dolls dropped by the Beast in the Ice. Now I do want to stress this to you guys, just be aware that the tormented versions of Andariel and Duriel will have a much higher Uber Unique drop chance than the normal Echo versions. So it's going to be ultra worth our time doing these harder versions, especially with these 2 specific bosses. Now since we just covered Andariel, let's go ahead and highlight Duriel next. Duriel's the exact same. The same drops, World Tier 4, level 100, and is going to be your next best place to shop for your Uber Uniques outside of Andariel. To find Duriel, he's located in the southwest point of the map, and he is here in the Gaping Crevasse. To summon her, you're going to need 2 Shards of Agony from Gagore and 2 eggs from Varshan, as per usual for 1 Duriel summon. He's a pain in the butt as always, but make sure you bring your poison resistant potions, and here's the drop table for the regular Uniques, which as I said are just like Andariel's, but buckle up because we're going to be killing lots of Duriel and Andariel here in Season 4. But ideally you'll be doing this in their tormented versions. Now let's talk about the other 4 standard bosses and the materials needed to summon them. First up is Gregore, over on the west side of the map, and you're going to find him in the Hall of Pendant. For Gregore, you're going to need 5 living steel to summon him, which you're going to find in the Helltides from random drops, and more specifically in the steel chests that cost 275 cinders, and that are more easy to get than ever before. Here's Gregore's loot table for his uniques. Again, credit to Wowhead, and remember, Gregore drops the shards we need for Duriel summons. Moving on from that, we have Varshan, which is at the Tree of Whispers as usual, and head into the Malignant Burrow. To summon Varshan, it's a bit more rough than the others. We're going to need 1 of each body part, with 4 in total. There's the femur, which is the bone, the head, the heart, and the hand. Now, you can always go to the alchemist to trade body parts to RNG roll the part you might be looking for. Otherwise, you find these parts from the grotesque depters around the world. After world bosses, they're pretty much guaranteed, and by doing the Tree of Whispers. whispers. Now, I found myself having plenty of everything except for the malignant hearts. So for anyone on the same boat as me, looking to just focus the malignant hearts, the first thing you want to prioritize are the world bosses, as they pretty much will guarantee a heart right after the boss is killed. When it comes to the Tree of Whispers, always either pick the legendary box or the box of chaos, as I found the heart having a higher chance of dropping from those. Also, the Blood Maiden in Helltide has a chance to drop them as well. There's also a chance to find the hearts in the Nightmare dungeons, but I find it just a lower drop rate overall. Here's the loot pool, and remember, Varshan also drops the eggs needed to summon Duriel. And on that note, feel free to do me a big favor. Consider hitting that like button, subscribing, and the notification bell, all that jazz for more of this coming your way. It helps me out very much. Thank you so much, guys. Moving forward, we now can go over Lord Zir, which is found on the right hand side of the map here in the Darkened Way. You're going to need 9 exquisite blood, which is still rewarded from Legion events, world bosses, and now what I found being the most lucrative option is again from the Blood Maidens in Helltide. So you're going to get the hearts from her for Varshan, and now the blood for Zir. The Blood Maiden is where it's at. Here is Zir's loot table. Again, credit to Wowhead, and Zir will drop the shackles you'll need to summon Andariel as well. Last up, we have the Beast in the Ice. To summon this boss is going to be nice and easy. You'll head to the Occultist to craft a sigil, and under the Ancestral, as you can see here, you have a standard and tormented version, both requiring distilled fear and sigil powder. Craft the sigil, blast through the dungeon, and he will be the main boss waiting for you at the end. Here's the loot pool for his uniques, and distilled fear is found by running Nightmare dungeons, and the higher you go, the more you get. So, a quick recap. The Beast in the Ice requires you to make a sigil, with the normal version costing 9 distilled fear and 250 sigil powder, and the tormented version will require 27 distilled fear with 2 Stygian stones. Then we have Zir with his normal version requiring 9 blood, and his tormented version needing 27 blood with 2 Stygian stones. Grigore will take 5 living steel on his normal version and 15 steel with 2 stones on torment. Varshan is 1 of each body part on normal, with its tormented version being up to 3 of each body part, which is just going to be a blast to get. Andariel needs 2 shackles and 2 dolls on normal, with his tormented version needing 6 of each. And Duriel on normal needs 2 shards and 2 eggs, with the tormented version bringing that up to 6 eggs and 6 shards, as well as the Stygian stones. And the Stygian stones are going to be found at higher end pit runs. So keep working through the pit, and as you naturally get higher and higher, you'll eventually start receiving these Stygian stones to help you summon the tormented bosses. Don't forget about the pinnacle boss, the Echo of Lilith. She's very much worth killing when you're ready, and will drop us that Resplendent Spark on our first kill. So something to look forward to. But did this video help you at all, or did I just confuse the shit out of you? What's your favorite boss to go up against and take down? I'm a big fan of the Beast in the Ice myself. Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe, ring the notification bell, all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodles!